guys, we're back for another reading wrap-up. Reika's putting her books in the order that she read them this month. Put that one like on the top because you want to talk about that first. Once again, Ephraim decided not to join us, but he told me a tiny little bit about the books that he read in the month of April, so I'll start with his, and then we'll do yours, Reika, and then we'll talk about our family read alouds, and then what I read this month. So, this is kind of going to be a bit of a theme this month, but Ephraim read, well, he listened to the first 3 books of The Keeper of the Lost Cities on audio. So book 1 is just called Keeper of the Lost Cities, book 2 is called Exile, book 3 is Everblaze. Yeah, so this is his first time going through the series. It's about a girl who finds out she's an elf and goes on these adventures. And he said it's amazing, and he gives it 5 out of 5 stars. And he's currently listening to book 4. The series gets more complex as it goes along. So I told him whenever it starts to be a little bit confusing, just to let me know and we'll like stop there. But so far he is going through this really quickly. Now, you got your books in order?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell us which one you started with this month, or April.
It's also a Keeper of the Lost Cities book.
You're gonna have to go up.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Unlocked, which is book
8.5.
8.5. So it's kind of like not really continuing the story. It has extra information, right? What does it all have in there? It has a bookmark because I'm currently reading it. We're kind of all just reading Keeper of the Lost Cities right now.
Well, there's colored pictures.
Yeah.
I don't want to show anything.
No, you don't have to show the pictures. There's colored pictures. There's detention slips. There's little write-ups on each of the characters.
There's like
There's a short novel at the end. Recipes? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Information about like the different kinds of people, beings in the world.
Quizzes.
Okay. So, what did you rate this book?
5, I think. That's what I would rate it now.
So this is 5 stars?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's move along. What was your next one?
Witchwood.
Okay. And this is kind of a weird book.
Yes, this girl cleans dead bodies.
Her family's job. This is a middle grade fantasy book that's like really out there. And her family's, not job, but like their role in society was to clean dead bodies and they're kind of like the undertakers of the world.
Yeah.
But you've read this one a few times, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, and what'd you give that one?
5.
5 stars? Okay, moving along. She read a lot of books this month.
The entire series of Beezus and Ramona. Actually, no. I never finished the last one.
So you read, which one's the first one here? Ramona the Pest, Ramona the Brave.
Well, Beezus and Ramona is the first one.
Oh, Beezus and Ramona? And then Ramona the Pest, Ramona the Brave, Ramona and her father, Ramona and her mother, Ramona Quimby, age 8, Ramona Forever?
Yes.
Okay. And you have read these ones like...
Over and over again.
Over and over.
All of them.
Beezus and Ramona is a series that I didn't read as a kid, and I can't handle Ramona. She drives me nuts. But my kids both like the series.
Yeah.
And I know most adults do too. So what'd you give that series? In general?
10.
Wow, okay. 10. Next book.
City Spies.
And you just read book 1.
Yes.
It is part of a series, right?
Yeah. Of 3, I think. I don't know. I think 3 just came out. Or it's coming out.
Okay, so what is City Spies about? It's about like 3 kids? Or how many kids?
I think it's 5, I think.
5 kids? Who are spies in a city? Just guessing here.
Yes, that's the name that came up in the very last chapter.
They came up with the name City Spies?
Yes.
Okay. Because they have code names.
Yes, from where they are from.
Based on the city that they're from.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I remember you saying that. What did you rate this series? Or this book?
4.5, I think.
4.5? Are you interested in continuing the series?
Yes, eventually. I have a stack of books already, but...
Yeah, eventually. Okay, next. This was a really good reading month for you.
Yes. The Green Ember. I did number 1 and 2, but I've read the entire series
A few times.
a few times.
So you reread number 1, and number 2 is called what? Ember Falls?
Ember Falls.
And is this your absolute favorite series?
One of the two.
What? One of the two. What's the second? Other one? Keeper of the Lost Cities?
No.
What?
I still don't know the series name. It's the False Prince. Yeah.
Oh, the Ascendant
Yes.
series. Okay.
Yes, that one.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. So the Green Ember, books 1 and 2. They're about bunnies. I don't know.
Sounds terrible.
I've only read the first book, and I am like the weird person that didn't really enjoy it, but I hear that you have to continue with the series, and so I will. I hear it's really good.
It is.
Okay, your next books? Because there's so many, we just gotta keep going. Here, let's...
A Dash of Magic and Bite-Size Magic, which I finished today.
Oh yeah, so this is book 2 and book 3 in... the first book was called Bliss, I think? Bliss?
Yes,
it's a Bliss.
just Bliss.
It's like a magical bakery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else. I started book 1 and didn't finish it.
You also need to finish this entire series.
Nah, I have other books I'm
I know.
more interested in finishing.
But
What did you rate these books?
individually or together?
Individually.
4.5
For Dash of Magic?
and 5.
Okay. And got another book here.
This book I didn't actually read.
This is to represent the Nancy Drew Diaries.
Yeah.
How many books did you read in this series?
This month I did, not that many.
You wrote down 3, maybe.
I did way more. I wrote down 3. I'm pretty much halfway down the one that I started today.
What number are you on?
21, I think.
Out of the series?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your stack for the month?
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. That was a good month for you.
It was.
Okay, then we have been terrible at family read-alouds because the baby, normally we listen to audiobooks at meal times. Mm-hmm. We are going through the book of Matthew as a family, and we are almost done it. But the baby has been like teething all month and very loud at meal times, so we haven't got very far. So we've been doing Matthew for our first meal that we can get a listen in, and then for our next one, if we can get 2 in one day, we've been listening to Christian heroes.
I think it's Isabel.
Isabel Kuhn, I think is her name. And we're only like halfway through that, and we started it over a month ago, so it's been slow. But we read through Life as a Viking. This is like a choose your own adventure story about Vikings, the history of Vikings. We kind of went through this when we did our Vikings unit a couple weeks ago. It was okay. Mostly because it probably would have been more interesting if we just didn't die every time we tried to do it. And then we started Underground to Canada because I had bought the Gather Round novel study for it. And we didn't even quite finish the first day. That was like weeks ago. And we haven't picked it up since. I'm not sure if we're going to. This might be a little too old for Ephraim. Did you enjoy the first couple of chapters we read, or chapter?
I have heard about it.
So maybe you and I will continue this or something. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this, but it's going to get put on the back burner for now. Okay. Do you want to... Oh, you're just resting on your books there? Do you want to head out while I talk about my books, or do you want...
Sure.
Yeah, you got stuff to do.
Yes,
Go ahead.
It involves cleaning my room.
Go clean your room. Score. Okay, and then my reading month, I'm kind of going through the books that are in my morning basket that I shared a few weeks ago. I finished 2 of the books that were in there. I'm continuing, like, slowly picking at some other ones. So I'll talk about the ones I finished, and then I started another book. These are the non-fiction books that I read in the month of April. I read a ton of fiction as well, and I have a whole separate channel where I talk about all the books, so I'm not going to go into all of those. And this, I talked about both of these actually in my wrap-up as well, but the first one is Dyslexia 101. I have had suspicions that my son has dyslexia and dysgraphia, so I bought this book after hearing Sarah Mackenzie rave about it. She had this author on one of her podcasts about, like on the Read Aloud Revival. It was a podcast specifically about dyslexia. And I was excited about it because she was really raving about it. And I'm so disappointed in this book. There's not a whole lot of information in here. Most of what is in here is for high school and college, which is not applicable yet. Maybe that will be helpful in the future. There's a whole chapter on how to homeschool, which we've been doing forever. There's a whole chapter on how to deal with a public school system, which is not applicable. And there is a little bit of information about signs of dyslexia. That was interesting, but I already read that on her website for free. I was expecting what really works. I was expecting some information here, and I got nothing. I got no activities other than like, go buy this curriculum. That's what I got. I thought there would be like actual practical advice in this book, and there wasn't. I wish I could return this book. I was very frustrated with it. And then the other book that I read is A Waking Wonder. This one I loved. This is Sally Clarkson, Opening Your Child's Heart to the Beauty of Learning. You guys, I need to show you how many pages I doggy-eared. And I highlighted like 12 times more than that. Let's just show you a little bit. I don't even know if that shows you exactly, but I love this. There's so many things I want to go through and reread, and I should have been taking notes when I was reading it, but life isn't exactly, you know, really working that way these days. Normally I'm trying to like feed a baby while trying to read, so yeah, I so enjoyed this book, and appreciate Sally Clarkson and her wisdom and her gentle parenting, and it's a little bit something that I wish I was better at. And then a book I just started a couple days ago is The Call of the Wild and Free. I read this book actually last summer. I listened to it on audio, and then a couple months ago I found this in a little free library, like in perfect condition, and I wanted to grab it because there are a lot of photographs in here, and it's just beautiful. I'm not very good at getting outside. I've always been an indoor person. I grew up on a farm and was always just like inside reading. So I thought this would be good for me to have. I think from what I remember, I thought there was an appendix, and I'm not sure if maybe I was thinking of a different book. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is an appendix. But anyway, I'm gonna read through this. This is the perfect time of year for me to read it with the outdoor, just because we live somewhere where it's like so cold for 6 months of the year. We're finally in the time of year where we can go outside and not freeze. Yeah, so I'm gonna slowly read through this. And that is our reading month wrapped up. As my kids they've been using this reading log that I just randomly found online. But I've been thinking about creating a reading journal for them where it's a little bit more, gives a little bit more space for them just to write a couple things about the book they've read, and write a few more details. Like my daughter, if she reads it physically, she has, she just kind of put like a rectangle there. But if she's listening to it on audio, she's been making a little headphone mark. So I think it would be cool to have like a reading journal where that space is all there for them to fill in, to like check those boxes or circle something. So yeah, I think I'm gonna work on that. If you sign up for my newsletter, you'll be the first to know when that's available, or if I put it up for free. I'm not sure. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's just ideas turning in my head as I was like watching my daughter read off her list. I was like, we need to include a few more things on this. So there's that. I would love to hear what you've been reading in your homeschool lately. Like I said, our read alouds for the month of April were like a total bust. So I hope to get back on that train in May. I just need to think of a time when I can like specifically sit down with them and do that, because it just hasn't been happening. So anyway, thanks again for watching, guys.